for the covenant increase, it's gonna be 0.1 times. So we reference it there. So for the debt service coverage ratio, we have to account for the first year of covenant. Before we do that, we will have to account for the years going forward where we fall within the covenant. So in this case, we're gonna go by if statement if the year that we are in is less than or equal to our target year. Reference that cell with F4. What we want is to give us a yes, otherwise give us a no. So we can copy this as we did for the leverage. We paste it as specials with formulas as formulas. So we have a setup there. So for the first year of covenant, it's gonna be another intuitive formula. So we are just saying that the target covenant, in this case, we have to deduct, and then whatever the target year is, and then subtract 1 from it, multiply that by our covenant increase of 0.1 times. So we have it set up there for us as 0.8 times. So we have to reference that here. So the first year is gonna be this 0.8 times coverage ratio. So going forward, the covenant reduction is gonna be, we take whatever we have here as a 1, and we multiply it by the covenant increase, so that by the end of year 3, we should be within the covenant of 1 times EBITDA. So EBITDA should be able to cover at least the principal and interest, at least 1 times. We can copy this out ESF, this as formulas. Make sure that we are always referencing the 0.1 times so that we can copy and paste as formulas. So going forward, this is gonna be equal to the covenant for the very first year, and then we increase it by 0.1 times, so we can copy. You see, by the end of year 3, we are within the covenant of 1 times. So for the debt service coverage ratio, in this case, it's gonna be equal to open brackets. So we are saying that we would take into account whatever the EBITDA was, and then we deduct any cash taxes. And then we deduct our capital expenditures in this case. So it's a strict covenant that says that your EBITDA less your cash taxes less your capital expenditures that are fixed charges. So we have all of those put together, then we have to divide that by the sum of the principal and the interest. The principal and the mandatory principal and the interest. So we see what happens to this covenant. So we can see that in the first year they are not within the reach of ESF. But as you can see, by year 3 they are able to cover their principal and interest as they grow cash flow and the company becomes profitable in the future. But the first 2 years they are unable to meet up with the covenant. So that's very, very important in our modeling. So that is why management needs to stand up at some point to ask Christians in the second year if this company or this private equity is not able to meet up with its covenant. So going forward, to now calculate the EBITDA quotient, it's gonna be based on another formula. So in this case, we are taking, it's gonna be equal to, open the bracket, so we take whatever the EBITDA was, but in this case it's a very strict covenant, so we deduct the EBITDA, we take EBITDA, we deduct the cash taxes, and also we deduct the capital expenditures. So we are taking into account the fixed charges, close that, and then we subtract it from whatever we are insinuating for the interest and principal to be. So we take the interest and then we add together the principal, and then we multiply it by our covenant of 0.8 times. So that's exactly what we are doing here to estimate the EBITDA quotient. I have to make sure that we're doing that right.